dive into this and see what we can uncover about why this place is so captivating.
Okay, yeah, I think one thing that jumps out from the blog post right away
Yeah.
is that the Victoria Memorial isn't just presented as like this isolated building,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
It's very much part of Kolkata's identity.
Yeah.
It's mentioned right along with the city's street food
Yeah.
and its reputation as a center of intellectual and artistic thought.
Right.
So right off the bat, you get a sense of how significant this landmark is to Kolkata.
Absolutely. And the author uses this phrase that I love. They call it a portal to the past.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's such an evocative way to describe it.
It really is.
This idea of a gateway to another era.
It sets the stage beautifully.
Yeah, it does. So maybe we can start with like the basic history.
Sure.
Like, you know, how did this monument come to be?
Well, the blog post makes it clear that the memorial was conceived as a grand tribute to Queen Victoria after her death in 1901.
Okay.
And this initiative was spearheaded by Lord Curzon,
Okay.
the Viceroy of India at that time.
And just for context, for anyone who's not as familiar with this period,
Yes.
this was during the British Raj, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah,
the backdrop of British rule in India
Yeah,
is really essential to understanding the memorial's origins.
absolutely. Okay, so we have Queen Victoria, Lord Curzon, British Raj,
Right.
and then construction began.
Construction started in 1906
Oh.
and went on until 1921.
So that's quite a long time.
Yeah, it was a massive undertaking.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And who was the architect?
The architect was William Emerson,
Okay.
and the blog post does a great job of describing his architectural style.
Okay, what is it?
It's referred to as Indo-Saracenic.
Indo-Saracenic.
Which basically means it's this beautiful fusion of Mughal and European styles.
Oh.
Yeah, the author even uses this really vivid phrase. They say it's like Mughal domes and minarets fused with European classical styles.
Wow, I can just picture that in my head.
You can really see how those two traditions are intentionally woven together.
Yeah, that's so fascinating.
Another significant point the blog post brings up
Yeah.
is the material they used to build it.
Okay.
White Makrana marble from Rajasthan.
Oh, wow. Isn't that the same marble used for the Taj Mahal?
It is.
That's incredible. It's like they're almost connected in a way.
Yeah, it's no coincidence then that it's sometimes referred to as the Taj of the Raj.
Oh, that's a great nickname. I love that.
It really captures the grandeur.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And so the Victoria Memorial isn't just about this imposing building, right?
No, not at all.
The blog post really emphasizes the surrounding estate.
Absolutely. It's situated on a 64-acre estate
Wow.
with these expansive lawns, gardens, water features.
That sounds beautiful.
It really is. The author describes it as a sanctuary of peace,
Mm-hmm.
a stark contrast to the hustle and bustle of Kolkata. Oh, I can imagine that would be such a welcome escape.
Especially in a city as vibrant and energetic as Kolkata.
Right. And then there's the monument itself,
Oh, yeah.
which is absolutely huge, right?
It stands at a towering 184 feet high,
Wow.
and on top is a 16-foot bronze statue of the Angel of Victory.
That's impressive.
Mm.
And what's the significance of the angel?
Well, the blog post mentions something really interesting.
Right.
The angel is designed to rotate with the wind,
Oh, wow.
and this movement is meant to symbolize progress.
It makes you think, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider that this is a monument rooted in colonial history.
Right. Like, what kind of progress are we talking about?
Yeah, it definitely adds a layer of complexity.
Yeah, it does. So the blog post also goes into detail about all the intricate carvings and statues.
They highlight the floral motifs, the imperial insignias, even statues of important British figures.
Like who?
Well, there are statues representing things like justice and learning. Interesting. So it's not just about aesthetics, it's also conveying certain ideas.
Absolutely. Every detail has a meaning.
And the author says something like, every angle offers a new perspective.
They do. It really encourages you to explore and examine every nook and cranny.
It sounds like the kind of place where you could go back multiple times.
Definitely. And you'd probably discover something new each time.
Now it's not just a monument.
No, it also functions as a museum.
Oh, that's great. And is it accessible to the public?
It is. The blog post mentions that there's a very affordable entrance fee.
Okay, what is it?
As of April 2025, it's 30 rupees for Indian citizens and 500 rupees for foreign nationals.
So that makes it accessible to a lot of people.
Definitely.
What kind of exhibits are there?
Well, one of the main highlights is the Royal Gallery,
Oh,
which
hey.
is dedicated to Queen Victoria and Prince Albert.
Oh, wow.
Inside, you'll find oil paintings, personal artifacts like Queen Victoria's writing desk and piano.
It must feel like stepping back in time.
It really does. It gives you a glimpse into their lives and their world.
The blog post also mentions this interesting contrast
Oh, yes.
where portraits of British governors are displayed alongside portraits of Indian royalty.
It's a powerful juxtaposition that visually represents the power dynamics of that era.
Yeah, it's like a silent commentary on the history.
Exactly.
So is the museum all about the British side of things?
Not at all. There's also a Calcutta gallery,
Okay.
which is specifically dedicated to the history of Kolkata itself.
Oh, that's great. So you get both sides of the story.
Exactly. They use dioramas and exhibits to trace the city's evolution.
Wow, from what to what?
From its origins as a cluster of villages
Yeah.
to the bustling metropolis it is today.
That's fascinating. And the author talks about these black and white photographs of old Kolkata.
They do, and they really capture that sense of nostalgia.
Yeah, like you can almost feel the history coming to life.
Exactly. You see images of trams, street vendors, those grand old buildings.
It must give you a sense of how much the city has changed over time.
Definitely, but also a sense of continuity in
Oh.
some ways.
Yeah. So let's talk about the gardens.
Oh, the gardens are wonderful.
What makes it so special?
Well, the author describes them as a real oasis,
Mm-hmm.
particularly during Kolkata's hot summers.
Right. It gets pretty intense there, doesn't it?
It does, but in the gardens you can find shaded benches, cool breezes.
That sounds so refreshing.
And even within the gardens, they've maintained that historical context
Okay.
with statues of figures like Lord Curzon and Queen Victoria.
So you're constantly reminded of the memorial's origins.
Yes, and the blog post also mentioned something that I found really appealing.
What's that?
The amazing photographic opportunities,
Oh, yeah.
especially at sunrise and sunset
Okay.
when the marble is bathed in this warm golden light.
Oh, I bet that's stunning.
Now, if you're lucky enough to be there in the evening,
Yeah.
they have a sound and light show.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that.
It's a 45-minute spectacle that uses lights and music projected onto the building
Wow.
to narrate the history of the memorial in Kolkata itself.
That sounds incredible. What kind of music do they use?
I'm not sure about the specifics, but I imagine it's quite dramatic.
Yeah, it must be. And the blog post mentions something about the dome lighting up.
Oh, yes. During the parts of the narration that deal with the British Raj and India's struggle for independence,
Oh.
the dome is illuminated in red, white, and blue.
Oh, wow. So it's like a visual representation of the historical forces at play.
Exactly. It adds a whole other dimension to the experience.
Yeah, that's really cool. So for someone who wants to visit,
Yes.
what are the practical details?
Well, the blog post provides some really helpful information.
Right.
It's conveniently located near the Maidan Metro station.
Okay.
It's open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.,
Right.
closed on Mondays and national holidays, of course.
Of course. And what about the best time to visit?
The author recommends visiting between October and March,
Okay.
when the weather is the most pleasant.
Makes sense. Yeah, what about any tips for visitors?
Yes. They advise bringing water and a hat if you're visiting during the hotter months.
Oh, yeah. That's essential in that kind of heat.
And the author also points out some nearby attractions.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Well, you have the Maidan itself, which is
Mhm.
this huge park.
Okay.
Then there's Eden Gardens, a famous cricket ground.
Oh, wow. So you could easily spend a few days exploring the area.
Absolutely. And if you're a foodie,
Yes.
there's a cafe on site at the Victoria Memorial.
Right.
And the author also recommends checking out some iconic Kolkata restaurants.
Amazing.
Places like Peter, Cat, and Flurry's on Park Street.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of those. So it sounds like the Victoria Memorial is more than just a tourist attraction.
It really is. The blog post concludes by reflecting on its enduring popularity,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes beyond just the history and the architecture.
Right.
It seems to play this important role in connecting the past and present.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a symbol of pride and identity for locals,
Yeah.
while offering tourists a window into India's colonial history.
And the author themselves has visited multiple times.
They have, and they still find new details to appreciate each time.
That's really cool.
It speaks to the depth and complexity of the place.
Yeah, it does. And the blog post ends with this beautiful image.
Oh,
The
yes.
setting sun, the angel of victory gleaming in the light,
It's a really powerful image.
and the feeling of awe and gratitude.
Yeah, that sense of wonder that you often experience at these historical landmarks.
Absolutely. And I love this thought that the author leaves us with.
Okay, what is it?
In a city that's constantly changing and evolving,
Mm-hmm.
the Victoria Memorial stands as this reminder of its history.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, so we've really uncovered a lot about the Victoria Memorial through this deep dive.
We have.
And it's clear that it's so much more than just a pretty building.
Absolutely. It's a place that's rich in history and meaning.
It showcases this unique architectural style.
And it holds deep cultural significance for Kolkata.
Yeah, it's a dynamic space that tells a story about the city's past and present.
And when you think about the mix of architectural styles, the sheer scale of the monument,
Yeah.
and the diverse collection of artifacts and exhibits inside, it really has something to offer everyone.
Right, whether you're interested in the British Raj Indian history or just appreciate stunning landmarks.
Exactly. And the author's personal connection to the memorial really brings it to life.
Yeah, it does. So here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
This one monument embodies such a complex and layered history.
It does.
And it evokes such a range of emotions.
Yeah.
You have the admiration for the grandeur, but also this reflection on the colonial past.
It's a reminder of a complicated history.
It is. So I'm curious,
Yeah.
what other landmarks around the world come to mind for you
That's a good question.
that serve a similar purpose in their cities?
Right.
You know?
Right.
They act as these important points of connection to the past.
Yeah, places that hold layers of meaning and spark these kinds of reflections.
Exactly. So this deep dive, based on the blog post you sent, has really opened our eyes to this place.
It has.
It's clearly more than just a tourist attraction.
It's a living testament to history.
Absolutely. And it's a vibrant part of Kolkata's identity.
And hopefully this exploration has given our listeners a deeper understanding and maybe even inspired them to visit someday.
I hope so.